Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So I haven't really been reading very much lately. Blasphemy, I know. And unfortunately in those few recent times that I have picked up a book, the results haven't been, how do you say, good. And I think we all have this at some point. You pick up a book and you start reading the first few pages and it's not really grabbing you and you think, come on, it's still early, give it a chance. And then you're a couple chapters in and it still hasn't gotten good. And you're like, I mean, maybe it's just a slow burn. Some of the greatest classics start slow. And then you turn to the last page and you put the book down and you think, why the f did I just waste my time on that? We've all had that, right? If you haven't, you're a stronger person than I. Because as a reader, I'm extraordinarily susceptible to what's known as the sunk time fallacy. Now, a bunch of smarter people have explained the sunk time fallacy a whole lot better than I'm about to. And you'll find some of those links in the description. But the basic gist is this: the more time you've spent on something, the more likely you are to see that thing as being worth your time. Say you've been dating someone for like 10 years. And in the beginning, you and this person really got along. But for the last couple years, it's been kind of flat and stale. You know you aren't gonna work on it. You know they aren't gonna work on it. But you don't leave. And when all your friends ask you why you're still with them, you say something like, we've just been together for so long. It would be a shame to throw it away now. You so badly don't want to feel like the last 10 years of your life have been wasted on this person that you'll end up wasting 5 or 10 more by sticking around. And yeah, that's an extreme example, but at least on a small scale, we all do this with something. For me, it's books. If I pick up a book and read even the first page, that's it. I'm trapped. I have to finish it. Even if it takes me forever, even if it means not reading anything else in the meantime, I have to finish it. And sometimes this can be a good thing. I mean, there are plenty of books that start really poorly and end up really, really good. But for the most part, it just sucks. Take, for instance, the book I read most recently, Our Man in Havana by Graham Greene. For all intents and purposes, this thing is considered a classic. People love Graham Greene. They say he's an important part of American literary history. So when I got through the first few chapters thinking, this isn't very good, I forced myself to suppress it. It must be something wrong with me, not the book. Give it a chance. Spoiler alert, it sucks at the end too. But even though I felt this way the whole time, every time I talked to somebody about it, I found myself looking for more and more positive things to say. It's funny, I'd say. It's well written. It's quick. The more time I spent with it, the more I praised it. I actually started to convince myself that I liked it. Spoiler alert, I didn't. And so I threw a month of my reading life down the drain. Oops. Oh well. Big deal, right? So you read a bad book or two. It's not the end of the world. I agree. But what if it's not just reading where you don't know when to quit? What if it's with your writing too? If you have trouble putting down someone else's story because it's terrible, what makes you think you're gonna be able to put down your own? And sometimes we have to. Sometimes we just have to admit to ourselves that something we wrote isn't good. And it isn't worth wasting time on. Not everything can be gold, not even for me. For instance, I've been working on this story on and off for the last few years. I wrote the first draft in 2015, and since then I've been coming back to it once every few months, trying to figure out how to make it good. I move scenes around, reorder words, add plot points. Most recently, I cut an entire character. As I was sitting in front of the wreckage of my story, trying to figure out how to put the pieces back together, the familiar thought started to creep in. What if I just didn't? What if I scrapped the whole thing? Tore it up, threw it away. It's the same thought I have every time I go back for another edit. But you can't. You sunk so many hours into this thing. You can't just give up. And every time, the sunk time fallacy wins. But what? Am I just gonna edit this thing a few times a year until the day I die? Do I just say, whatever, it'll be bad, and publish it anyway? Or do I rip it up, throw it away? I think the old adage says it best. Kill your darlings. Only it's not just your darlings. You have to be ready to kill just about anything, no matter how much you thought you liked it, no matter how long it's been with you. So kill your children. No, wait. Kill your grown-ups. Kill your grown-up children. The point is, you have to learn when to throw in the towel. Call it quits. It doesn't mean you're a fraud or a bad writer. There's a bad pancake in every batch. Instead of wasting your time trying to save it, write yourself something new. Remember what it was about the last one that made it so bad. Learn from that. A failed story is never a waste as long as you learn how to say goodbye. And with that, goodbye, old friend. I can't do it. Maybe I'll just put it down for now. Come back to it later. Can't be all bad, right? Thank you so much for watching. This has been Left to Right. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments, how do you know when it's time to give up? How hard should you try to save a sinking story? How can I learn to let this one go? Please, I need help.